Cats often appear content when they sit quietly by the window, stretch out in the sun, or seem to sleep for hours on end. Their calm, unhurried behavior is easily mistaken for satisfaction. But precisely because cats are so quiet, their needs often go unnoticed and their discontent is overlooked. There are things that trouble them day after day without any human ever knowing about it. Small things that seem harmless can feel like a constant disturbance in a cat's little world. And that's exactly what makes them unhappy in the long run. One underestimated trigger is boredom. Cats are considered independent, but that doesn't mean they don't need stimulation. On the contrary, they are born hunters who need mental and physical challenges every day. When an indoor cat sees the same environment daily, experiences the same movements, and receives no new stimulation, it becomes mentally sluggish. This doesn't always show up as obvious behavior. Often the cat simply becomes quieter, sleeps more, and plays less. But what looks like coziness is sometimes actually a sign of deep understimulation. The feeling of lacking control over their territory can also be stressful. Cats are territorial animals. They need safe, stable places, retreats, and the ability to survey their territory. If this is disrupted by constant rearranging or unfamiliar smells, it creates underlying stress. It's especially bad when the cat's retreat suddenly becomes inaccessible or is constantly disturbed, whether by guests, children, or other animals. Such changes interfere with their sense of security, and they have no way to defend themselves against it. A lack of social connection can also cause daily pain, quietly and almost invisibly. Many people believe that cats like to be alone and need little contact, but that's only partly true. A cat that is never spoken to, whose needs are ignored or misunderstood, who never experiences gentle words, loving blinks, or shared moments, becomes lonely. It lives among its humans yet is still alone. The human doesn't notice anything, but the cat feels it every day. Daily feeding can also become a problem. It's not just the type of food, but also the way it's given. Cats are creatures of habit. They need routines, peace and quiet while eating, and above all, food that truly agrees with them. If they are regularly disturbed, get too little variety, or are constantly confronted with unsuitable types of food, it becomes exhausting for them over time. Loss of appetite, stomach problems, or refusal to eat are often not whims, but silent cries for help. Another problem is the lack of communication. Many cat owners do not recognize their pet's subtle signals. The slow blinking, the gentle purring, the rubbing against your leg. These gestures are not random movements, but attempts to make contact. If these attempts are repeatedly ignored or met with misunderstandings, such as rough handling, being picked up against their will, or constant correction, the cat suffers internally. It withdraws, gives up, and the human might think it simply wants to be left alone. Last but not least, a lack of safe sleep is an underestimated stress factor. Cats need a lot of rest, but they only truly sleep deeply when they feel safe and secure. If their sleeping spot is constantly disturbed, too close to the hustle and bustle, or too bright and exposed, the cat may doze lightly, but never truly gets restorative sleep. This constant state of alertness wears them out, even if it isn't outwardly noticeable. So, the cat often lives in a world that seems perfectly fine from a human perspective, but becomes more exhausting for it every day from its own point of view. And because they can't say anything, many suffer in silence. Do you know which unconscious mistakes you might be making that shorten your cat's life? In the video I've linked for you here, I'll reveal them to you. Go watch it right away.